You know, it's always exciting to bring a new animal ambassador to our community. This is the first time in the history of your zoo that we've had little penguins. They're also known as little blue penguins, a lot of different names, but the little penguins are here today, and they've come a long way. These penguins came to us from Australia. They're here as ambassadors to tell a very, very important story. Now, their population numbers are pretty good. They number about 1 million, but they've got some threats out there. They are sometimes caught up in fishing nets. The plastic pollution in the ocean's a real concern for them, and also a lot of the oil pollution in the ocean has hurt them. And on their nesting areas on beaches, they suffer oftentimes predation from feral dogs and pet dogs. So they've got a story to be told, and another one of those great ambassadors to let us know how we can work to achieve better planetary balance for all of our health, not just for the health of the penguins and their habitat. You know, their health relates to ours in a not too indirect way. So the Paul Ogle Foundation, I can't say enough great things about all these folks behind me right here. And literally they're behind your zoo, they're behind their zoo, and they're one of the first foundations to come out and support our leadership campaign. $10.4 million capital campaign, which we're getting close. We have about another $1.5 million to raise. So if any of you out there are inclined, come and talk to me later after the press conference to help us cap that off. This campaign includes many fun, wonderful new exhibits. We just opened up the new elephant encounter. In our audience with us today, Sandra Frazier is a vice chair of our board, and her family helped us make that a reality. Great presentation. We more than doubled the space for the elephants. So this campaign next will be African primates and also an expansion of the African outpost. And then in 2018 and 2019, we're going to be opening up the Cub House by PNC at the snow leopard exhibit and a brand new snow leopard exhibit. So we're so excited about this campaign. The Ogle Foundation. This would not be here today without the Ogle Foundation. These folks are, they're can-do people, and they have done so much for the metro area, the community in southern Indiana. You know, the Ogle Foundation, their vision, it really parallels your zoo's vision in many, many ways, and I think that's why we have such a productive partnership and can't thank them enough. But they focus on quality of life for southern Indiana. And you may or may not know this, but about 150,000 guests a year, this is their zoo. The folks throughout southern Indiana. This is their park. We are one community, and one of the tenets that I know is foundational for the Ogle Foundation is regionalism. And we are the region zoo, and we agree so much on there's strength in that combined collaboration. We're one community, and that's what this zoo and the Ogle Foundation are all about. You know, the human needs, trying to make sure that we provide the very best for all the citizens of our community, giving them a place. We all have complex, busy lives, and the zoo is a great place to come and build family memories while you're blowing off the steam of the day and relaxing, making those great memories. And the economic impact. We want a healthy economy. We all need jobs. We all hopefully will have a great future for our children by creating those jobs. And that's what the Ogle Foundation is about. That's what your zoo is about. Your zoo right now generates over $35 million in total spending in our community, which creates and helps fuel over 750 jobs throughout the region. And preservation is one of the basic tenets of the Ogle Foundation. And what better exemplification of preservation can there be beyond helping save these precious animals and their habitat? There's 7.2 billion of us now on this planet. We need to learn to live in balance, and that's an individual choice, but we're here to help people with answers on how we can accomplish that. So we are beyond excited. The penguins are beyond excited. If you haven't seen them, they're in there swimming around right now and having a great time. And I hope I haven't stolen any of your thunder, Kent, talking about the Ogle Foundation's vision, but it's a wonderful vision. The Paul Ogle Foundation is just an incredible asset to our community. And without further ado, I'd like to welcome Kent Lanham up to the podium to make a few remarks.
Well, I was given a choice where I'd make a speech or not, and I said, well, I really didn't want to originally, but I started thinking more about this project and what it means to the Ogle Foundation, to the founders of our foundation, two of whom are still with us today on our board, and so I wanted to kind of say a few words about that. On behalf of the board of directors, I want to congratulate the Louisville Zoo and its leadership on the completion of not only this project, but the countless other projects, and has made this thing a true treasure for the community, as well as a must-see travel destination for Louisville and as well as the rest of the region. In the early 1990s, the Ogle Foundation made a major shift in its giving and implemented a strategy in which its grant making was expanded beyond the southern Indiana and into Louisville itself. Those early board members, and again, as I mentioned, several of them are here today, and they'll be cutting the ribbon here. They were the pioneers in promoting this concept of regionalism. They looked across our borders and supported organizations whose missions crossed state lines and were inclusive of our own citizens in southern Indiana. To date, the Ogle Foundation has given over $84 million in grants locally, and this includes $18.9 million given specifically to organizations that are headquartered here in Jefferson County, Kentucky. And those folks serve our fellow Hoosiers every day. The reason I bring all this up is that what makes this approach to regionalism special is the Louisville Zoo, and John touched on it in his comments too. They were one of the first beneficiaries of our grants to Louisville. They were one of the very first. And it was for the Islands exhibit in 1992, and it was also the first grant we ever made that exceeded $1 million. So it was a statement that they made back then, and we've come a long way since that point. Since that time, we've contributed to zoo projects ranging from the lorikeets, the gorilla exhibit, the zoo carousel, and the outpost projects. With today's total gift and the penguin exhibit, we have contributed $3.1 million to the Louisville Zoo. One of the biggest reasons we continue to contribute to the zoo and its mission is that John and the zoo truly embrace the concept of regionalism. John Walzak in particular, is very active on our side of the river with organizations like IU Southeast Board of Advisors. He's also been through Leadership Southern Indiana. John sought out that personal connection in many ways that not only exemplify his strategic vision for the zoo's future, but also personify the man's character. And he's walking the walk and talking the talk, something that we on our board strongly feel should be emulated by many more community leaders as well as elected officials in our region, especially when it comes to dealing with folks on the north side of the river. So again, I want to congratulate John and his team for holding today's event as we celebrate the arrival of our newest residents to the city of Louisville. Thank you.
You know, with all those incredible things that Kent has mentioned that they've done, another thing that really just really helped your zoo, our zoo, we all remember that little recession that we're all just still climbing out of while we were doing the Glacier Run campaign, and the Ogle Foundation and Kent Lanham, they stepped up to help us with a matching grant and cap off that campaign, helping us bring $900,000 to town from the Kresge Foundation, which at that point in time, that was tough coming up with that kind of money. So thank you. And that's the kind of can-do people that the Ogle Foundation are. At this time, I'd like to welcome Doug Hamilton up to the podium and share this celebration with Doug.
Thank you, John. I appreciate the opportunity to be here today. On behalf of Mayor Greg Fisher, Councilwoman Mary Ann Butler from the 15th, and Councilman Pat Mulvihill from the 10th, welcome to your Louisville Zoo and the opening of another innovative exhibit, something that we've come to expect from John. We know that he has a history and a commitment to increasing customer experience and customer satisfaction here. The last 3 exhibits he's opened were award winners. We expect that this one will be as well. I know if the mayor was here, there's a couple of things that he would want to mention. One of them is the excitement for the zoo. The zoo is one of the agencies in Louisville Metro government that constantly exhibits increased performance attainment, but not only with their customer satisfaction and some of the things that they do, but their employees are some of the best that we have in Louisville Metro government, and they show that over and over again. He would want to make sure that you all were aware of his appreciation for your all's talents and your time. Obviously, John's commitment. You can't be around John any amount of time that you can't get excited about your Louisville Zoo. And I think that's one of the things that the mayor admires when he hears John speak is your Louisville Zoo. Not mine, not ours, your Louisville Zoo. And then the thing that I think that would especially excite the mayor is that the partnership that the Paul Ogle Foundation has shown with the Louisville Zoo. This is not the first time that they have, of course, partnered with agencies in Jefferson County. They have a long history of doing that. We certainly appreciate that. But this one means a lot to us. We appreciate the board members as well as Mr. Lanham in thinking of us and joining with us and partnering with us to provide an exhibit that is as good as this one that you're gonna be very excited to see, and one that I wanted you to notice is an exhibit that doesn't limit people who may have physical capabilities. That's very unusual in a number of zoos in America. So it's something that I congratulate John on. Thanks to the employees, thanks to the board members who are here, our council members, and thank you, John, and the foundation for what you've done today.
Thank you, Doug. And for all of you that think that Doug dresses like this every day, he actually wore his penguin outfit to celebrate the opening today. Thank you, Doug. So, Penguin Cove is open. Doug, thank you for the kind words about our team out here at the zoo. This is a community effort. We've got a great staff. We have over 1,500 phenomenal volunteers that produce thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars worth of effort for our park. We're going to be cutting the ribbon in just a little bit, but I also want to call out to my left is Gary Michael. He's our curator of birds. This has been his vision. He's wanted to bring these animal ambassadors, the little penguins, to our zoo for I don't know how long. It's been a long journey. And of course, we're here to celebrate our staff and everybody that's made this possible, the Ogle Foundation. But I also have to call out our contractors. You know, contractors usually don't get a lot of praise in these events, but we have got some phenomenal contractor partners, Wittenberg Construction and Corfage Landscaping, the Weber Group. These folks are just phenomenal. They see the project through. They understand the vision. I don't think they make a lot of money either, but they're great partners in making these things happen. So again, thank you for coming to this celebration. I really want to thank everyone from the Ogle Foundation. And now, be careful, we're about to distribute the scissors.